The orbital nexus was a marvel of interstellar cooperation, a massive space station where dozens of species worked, traded, and occasionally bickered about whose homeworld had the superior gravity settings. Lieutenant Mara Jax had been stationed there for 8 months, long enough to earn respect for her engineering prowess, but not quite long enough to escape the teasing about her companion creature. Whisker was a small tabby cat, barely 7 pounds of fur and indifference. To Mara, he was home in a box. To her alien colleagues, he was a source of endless confusion and mockery. "That is your apex predator?" Krell, a hulking Vortown security officer, had asked on Whisker's first day aboard. His 4 eyes blinked in astonished sequence as the cat yawned, revealing tiny fangs before curling into a ball on Mara's bunk. "He's a cat," Mara had replied simply, scratching behind Whisker's ears. "He's not supposed to be intimidating." The Vortons kept war beasts, muscled creatures with armored hides that could tear through bulkhead doors. The Sithril had venomous serpents that could hypnotize prey with bioluminescent patterns. Even the diminutive Quelix kept swarms of flesh-eating beetles as decorative pets. Whisker slept 18 hours a day and occasionally knocked Mara's data pad off her desk. The mockery was good-natured at first. Then the Fangbeast incident changed everything. It started with a diplomatic disaster. Ambassador Thexril of the Kryn Dominion had arrived for trade negotiations, bringing with him his personal guard, including a Fangbeast named Razor. Fangbeasts were legendary, 8 feet of scales, claws and neurotoxic saliva, bred specifically for combat and intimidation. Razor had killed 17 challengers in arena combat back on the Kryn homeworld. "Your station allows pets," Thexril had observed during the welcome tour, his translator clicking with disdain. His gaze had fallen on Whisker, who was draped across Mara's shoulders like a scarf. "How quaint." "Whisker's not just a pet," Mara had said defensively. "He's family." Thexril's lipless mouth curved into something approximating a smile. "On Kryn, we believe companions should serve a purpose, protection, intimidation. Your creature serves neither." Krell had snorted, a sound like grinding metal. "The human's cat sleeps more than our station's power cycles." "It is harmless," Mara had wanted to argue, but Whisker chose that moment to sneeze directly into her face, undermining any point she might have made. The assassination attempt came 3 days later. Station sensors detected nothing. The intruder had used military-grade cloaking tech, bypassing every security protocol the Nexus employed. Their target, Ambassador Thexril, asleep in his diplomatic quarters. But the intruder had made a critical error. They'd released a juvenile Fangbeast into the ventilation system, one infected with a genetically modified virus designed to make it hyper-aggressive and suicidally violent. The creature was meant to kill Thexril and die shortly after, leaving no trace of foul play. Instead, the Fangbeast took a wrong turn in the air ducts. It emerged in Section 7C, Residential Wing, specifically in Lieutenant Mara Jax's quarters at Oro 300 hours. Mara was dead asleep, exhausted from a 12-hour shift repairing the station's thermal regulators. She didn't hear the vent cover pop open. She didn't hear the soft scrape of claws on metal. But Whisker did. The official security footage would later become the most watched recording in Orbital Nexus history. The Fangbeast dropped from the vent, its scales glistening with the toxic mucus that coated its body. Its eyes, too many eyes, glowed with the fever-bright madness of the virus. It was small for its species, barely 4 feet long, but its jaws could crush titanium alloy. It landed silently, orienting toward the heat signature of the sleeping human. On the bed, Whisker's eyes opened. To the watching aliens, what happened next defied all logic. The cat didn't hiss, didn't arch its back, didn't run. Whisker simply stood, stretched with infuriating casualness, and then moved. The Fangbeast lunged. Whisker wasn't there. The cat was a blur. 7 pounds of muscle memory honed by millions of years of evolution as an ambush predator. He didn't fight like the war beasts. He fought like what he was. A tiny, perfect killing machine that had once hunted creatures 10 times his size in Earth's prehistoric grasslands. Whisker latched onto the Fangbeast's neck, claws finding the gaps between armored scales with surgical precision. The Fangbeast thrashed, slamming into walls, but Whisker held on, teeth sinking deeper. The neurotoxic saliva that should have killed him within seconds seemed to have no effect. Earth cats, it turned out, had developed remarkable resistance to biological toxins over millennia of eating questionable prey. The struggle lasted 47 seconds. When it ended, the Fangbeast lay still, throat torn open. Whisker sat beside the corpse, calmly licking blood from his paws. Mara woke up 20 minutes later to find her cat sitting on her chest, purring, and a dead alien murder beast bleeding on her floor. The investigation moved quickly. The Fangbeast's modified genetics were traced back to a radical faction within the Kryn Dominion, opposed to Thexril's peace negotiations. The assassination plot unraveled, preventing what could have been an interstellar incident. Ambassador Thexril himself came to Mara's quarters the next day. He stood for a long moment studying Whisker, who was napping in a sunbeam, completely unbothered by his new status as station hero. "I underestimated your companion," Thexril said finally. "On Kryn we breed warriors, but this creature—" He gestured toward the sleeping cat. "This creature is something else. A warrior that does not boast. That strikes without warning. That returns to peace as if violence were merely another task." "That's just Whisker," Mara said, though pride crept into her voice. "He's a cat." Krell, standing in the doorway, rumbled with something like respect. "The human's small predator has earned a name in the warrior halls. We will speak of Whisker the Silent Death." Whisker yawned, showing those tiny fangs again, and went back to sleep. After that, no one mocked Mara's cat. Crew members from a dozen species would pause in corridors when Whisker passed, offering respectful nods to the small creature who had killed a poisoned Fangbeast without even waking his human. Mara found it hilarious. Whisker found it irrelevant, because in the end, he was just a cat, doing what cats had always done: surviving, hunting, sleeping, and reminding the galaxy that humanity's companions were just as terrifying as humanity itself, just smaller and fluffier.